Episode 5, A Dreamlike Dance. Just FYI, my voice is a little off. Slowly, the world swims back into focus. I rouse, not on cold stones in the library floor, but cushioned by a couch of soft green velvet. It's unclear how much time has passed as I blink away the blur of unconsciousness. Carefully, I push myself up into a sitting position, testing myself for injuries. I'm unhurt. So too are Albert and Nettie, slumped on similar couches nearby. It's not hard to guess we've been brought back to Orion's court at a glance. Nor is it hard to work out our situation. A waiting room looks like a waiting room, no matter where you are. Albert, Nettie, both stir upon hearing their names. Oh, he's changing his outfit. Gallant, gentleman. I mean, gallant then, shit. I like it. Princess, lady. Princess, obviously. What happened? Orion captured us. Albert stands, sways, and then immediately reaches for his weapon. He's halfway across the room before we realize we're not alone.
Lord Orion bids you stay.
He knows what we can do with his bidding. A large hand attached to an even larger body descends and pins Albert in place. The Spriggan's expression, for I recognize now as the same one we encountered at the library, barely changes. He simply tightens his grip and Albert buckles. It's okay. We're not going anywhere. Please let him go. A very tense, silent moment passes, the kind that has an equal chance of erupting into violence or settling to calm. Could you at least tell us what we're doing here? The tree creatures look at me, then at each other, before slowly beginning to answer.
Lord Orion ordered us to bring you here. In consequence of your trespass, you will be judged and punished.
Then that requires a new gown?
No.
Nettie plucks at her skirts exasperately. Then why?
Lord Orion said you would ask that.
And? Can you answer?
Yes.
When the Spriggan elaborates no further, Nettie throws up her hands in frustration. Oh my god, I give up. The Spriggan releases Albert, allowing us to put some distance between us and the looming guards. As far as escape goes, none of us like our chances. Still, this could be a chance to win them over, or at least learn a little bit more about our potential fate. Argue with the Spriggan, wait it out. Talk with the Spriggan. I imagine working for Orion must suit you both. It's mostly just standing around in the sunshine.
Yes. The sun, the rain, we drink it all in. Use the strength to take out our vengeance on anyone who tries to steal our treasures. It is a shame our Lord has forbidden us to do this to you.
Yes, what a shame. It is a shame that they couldn't hurt me or anybody in general. That could be an avenue. I put on a smile on my face and brighten. Well, hopefully we can be friends.
Friends?
Certainly. No need for our relationship to be a poor one, is there? They muse slowly over this concept.
Will you attempt to take what is ours to God again?
Oh, certainly not.
Then no, there is no need to be enemies.
I mean, we never tried to take anything in the first place. I'm very happy to hear that. I really am. Albert is still rubbing his shoulder with a Spriggan squeeze. That strength is no joke.
What would we do if we were friends?
Just normal things friends do. Talk, spend time with each other. If the opportunity arises, we help each other. What do you say? If you need help, I'll help you. And if I need help, you help me. I almost offer a handshake before recalling that crushing strength. Sound good? Again, that slow train of thought. Gradually the two Spriggans nod.
It does.
Lovely. Always better to have an ally than an enemy. Maybe their good opinion will end up saving my life. Sometime later, the doors open. We spring to our feet, prepared for anything, when a mass of curls pokes around the door. Hi, Glim. New outfit as well? Sure, why not? Lord Orion is ready for you. Please follow me. Hold on. You've got some explaining to do first, Lucy. I had to throw Lucy in there. If you know, you know. Albert's understandable frustration is met with a deep sadness from Glim. Please don't be upset. I'll tell you everything you want to know. Just like you told us the library was a trap? It wasn't. You can't expect us to believe that. I'm not lying. I had no idea he'd find you so quickly, or find you at all. He almost never goes to that place. Nettie raises her brows at me, understandably skeptical. I understand her hint. She wants a second opinion. You know, I don't know what to believe. I believe her. I don't believe her. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she didn't know. You do? You do? Certainly. You've encountered her the most of any of us, Albert. Even your feelings about fairies. Have you ever known Glim personally to lie? A few seconds of looking into Glim's wide, sorrowful eyes is more than a man can bear. No, I haven't. She's been honest every time we've met. There you are, then. Let's not cast baseless aspirations. Glim links her fingers and dips her head contritely. When it lifts again, her eyes are brimming with tears. I'm so sorry, Sir Knight. You must hate us. No, that's... Look, don't cry, it's fine. It's not. Can you ever forgive me? Albert looks like he wants to sink into the ground. Just take us to Orion. We'll sort it out later. Really? Yeah, really. A sniffle and a swipe of her finger, and Glim looks slightly happier. Okay. The Spriggans stand aside, allowing us through. We follow Glim closely, Nettie slipping in next to Albert with a wicked smirk. Soft touch. Shut up. Looks like all the fairy folk and whatnot in this universe have been gathered here. The throne room we emerge into is utterly transformed when the sound of dozens of voices raised above lilting music and conversation and laughter. What on earth? Not Earth, but close enough. Rowan emerges from the shadows of an alcove, making us all jump. What is all this, Rowan? Just some festivities. Don't let me hold you up, though. You've kept the big man waiting. Indeed, Orion watches us from his throne. His expression, often severe, is darkened to a dangerous thunder. Jesus Christ. What the hell is his outfit? No, seriously. Oh, what are you, a fucking fairy pimp? I just had to. Like, what in the hell? He got rings and all. Sorry, not sorry. He made this approach with a crook of his finger. Almost every eye in the room follows our passage to the foot of the stairs. So the woman from the city thinks she can sneak around under my nose and take what is mine. We weren't planning on taking anything. We just trespassed, tricked, disrespected, researched. A flare of power, that same overwhelming force, makes my eyes water, and the room falls utterly silent. These magical creatures are far more sensitive to magic than we humans. To them, that pulse was a shotgun blast. You are lucky this celebration has brought you time. Your judgment shall, for a while, be deferred. You just so happen to have a party scheduled on the same night. We did this. Not everything in my domain revolves around you humans. His stare rakes across me with the pitilessness of a mild winter gale, or midwinter. You are underdressed. What, for being judged? Some of us understand the virtues of hospitality. I promise you shall not be harmed nor judged until dawn comes. He passes his hand through the air, and I am enveloped once again in a shimmering fairy light. I liked my outfit, damn it. Bold, powerful, joyful, demure. Valiant, I like bold, I like powerful, and I like joyful. Hold on, let me think. Alright, you know me, I normally go with a black, but I like this color too. Am I happy with this? Yes. Let me guess. Hair? Hair. Ooh, okay, I actually like that one. Fur, butterflies, leaves. Alright, I was gonna go with the red, but I'll go with long waves feathers for now. Am I happy with this? Kinda, but not really. If it was in red, I wouldn't mind. Oh my god, makeup, of course. Smoky, vivid, golden. No makeup. Look at golden. Look at makeup. Or no makeup. Barely, I know, the little cheek shadow stuff. I'll go with smoky. Yes. Bedecked again in silk and refinery, there are worse ways to live, I suppose. Thank you, Lord Orion, it's beautiful. Without a word or spare glance, he descends from his throne into the dawdling masses. Oh boy, he's really mad. Are we in danger? Not at his party, no. Not until dawn. There are a lot of unanswered questions to ponder, all of which disappear when our circle is interrupted by a fresh set of visitors. How quickly the darlings of the court fall out of grace. It's not surprising, I wonder. Is it worse to be killed on the spot or wait all night for the hangman's noose? The pair share a nasty, snickering laugh. I suppose you'll find out soon. The last thing I want to deal with right now is these two laughing in my face. Just ignore them. They're not worth it. Please, like we could ever be ignored. Have you seen us? Oh, you're so full of yourself. Natty silently mimes sticking a finger down her throat. The brief glimpse of Orion's power tells me escape is impossible. The resistance is outright fatal. We have to stay until our judgment at dawn, which means attending the party, which means dealing with these two. Sammy? Yes? Turn off all recording functions and don't log anything for the next 10 minutes. Are you certain? This is an unusual request. I'm certain. What I need to do next may be against pub guidelines. I either need to mollify these two or make them explode. There's no diplomatic middle path here. I just sense it. What are you talking to? Got a bug in your wrist? Never mind what I've got. Answer me this. What is your problem? Do we have a problem? I don't want any problems. Alright. As much as I want to go, what is your problem? Do we have a problem? I don't want any problems, is what we'll do. We'll play, I don't know, possum. Well, isn't that nice? I'm serious, Angus. We're not here to cause trouble. What a shame, because trouble is exactly what you found. Look, you two. Oh, there's the knight coming to his maid's aid. How sweet. When is the wedding? Or is it her? Both of them. Come on, Knight. Don't be shy. They won't drop this. Bullies never do once they've gotten a reaction. Violet is already leaning close to Albert, purring in his ear. Do you have a preference? Which one do you want to bed? I'd better answer fast before Albert explodes. Soothe them, ignore them, or play ignorant. I really would go with ignore them. Oh, God. There's really no need for this. We're no interested in causing trouble for you or anyone else here. Neutral friendliness is vital here. I can't for a second seem like I'm telling them what to do or they'll take offense. I mean, look at this place. All these lights, all these people. Isn't it magical? Don't you think so, Angus? Orion really knows how to throw a party. I suppose he does. The last one was better. That took the wind out of their sails. Sometimes being nice is the most effective neutralizer for aggression. Keyword sometimes. God, I need a drink. Yeah, you and me both. Nettie's comment sets them off again. Oh, yes. Come in, take what's ours. You mortals feel so welcome to anything you can lay your hands on. Don't think we were rolling over just because your knight is back up. We're not scared of you. Oh, really? We have a right to be here. Or do you disagree with Orion's decision? We can call him over if you like.
That's Lord Orion to you, mortal.
My apologies. Shall we call Lord Orion over? Where's the little guy, Mr., chimes in on everything, but he doesn't chime in on this? The pair share a hasty glance. He's got better things to do. I thought he might. The commotion soon draws attention. I glance across the room and see Orion. Then, in a blink, he's standing at my side.
Is there a problem here?
None at all. Your ambassadors were just being their usual welcoming selves. Orion turns a cold gaze on Angus and Violet. You diffuse the situation. Angus looks at us, then at Violet, then up at his lord, his features twist, hesitating over some unknown decision. No, it's nothing, my lord. We just had a disagreement.
A disagreement which is resolved.
It is. We may have been too hasty.
And then do not cause trouble, and do not waste my time.
Thank you, Lord Orion. The fairies leave, Angus and Violet trailing behind Orion. I exhale slowly, bringing myself back to calm. What a pair.
Petty tyrants clinging to their power. I've never liked either of them.
As we recover, a violin sings out from across the thronging hall. Glim sips between the clutches of guests, all previous worries wiped away by her beaming smile.
Oh God, what's happening now?
What else? It's time to dance. Pardon? Lord Orion thought you might be confused, so I've come to explain. Tonight's revelries celebrate past and present leaders of the court. It happens, I think, every 50 of your mundane years. That's a long time between festivals. Considering the lifespan of supernatural denizens, it is not as long as one might think. So what happens? You just drink and talk? The current lord welcomes the guests. Some of them come with really long way away. And then we drink and talk and dance, and after that the lord raises a glass to honor past leaders and wish for future prosperity. She glances over her shoulder. Many couples, some notably more humanoid than others, are stepping out on the floor. The violin joins with other instruments, filling the air with lively music. It's sort of a public dance. Your choice of partner means something. It does. If you're enemies, dancing together is an expression of peace. Rejecting someone's offer for a dance could also be seen as an insult. And if you're not partnered with someone, then... Glam darts a shy glance at me. Not everybody takes it so seriously, but your chosen partner can be seen as a statement. Ah. Thank you, Glim. That's a lot to think about. You're welcome. Don't rush to make a decision. We dance all night. I smooth my hands over the material of my gorgeous fairy gown and watch the dance floor quickly fill with singles, couples, and groups. Every 50 years, huh? This may be the only chance we have to actually attend this event.
You're right. We'd all be senior citizens by the time the next one comes around.
That's if you're lucky. So... we all hesitate to make a move. Choosing here won't just make a statement to the court. Our group will be affected too. You may dance with as many characters as you like before moving on. Depending on your preferences and closeness to the chosen characters, the dance will be either platonic or romantic in nature. Okay, so I can dance with all of them. Alright, well, just in case, let's choose Orion first. The most dangerous thing in the world is ignorance. I can rely on my senses, my instincts, my beliefs, but in the end, all that matters is what I know. And what I know is Orion's expression is detached and lordly, showing no more than the appropriate amount of interest. I know he was angered by our trespass. I know that he has promised not to pass judgment until dawn. I know that others have faith and that his word can be trusted. And there's everything I don't know. Any one of those unknown things could be my doom. When our eyes meet, I realize I've been staring silently at him for quite some time. Leaving his group of admirers behind, he crosses the hall to stand before me, or rather to allow me to stand before him. Were you enjoying the festivities? As much as one can, I suppose. Oh dear. Something on your mind I must do something about. The crowd reflexively parts in response to his natural authority. In the new, open space, he bows, one hand behind his back and the other offered to me. May I have this dance? What? The countless eyes watching stifle my reaction. I look at Orion holding his bowed stance, awaiting my answer to his hidden taunt. Fine. If he wants to play it that way, we can play it that way. Thank you, Lord Orion. I'd love to have this dance. I take his hand. Orion's presence parts the sea of people, every set of eyes in the room burning into my back. It doesn't really hit me on the personal level until he settles into a waltz hold that Orion is the Lord, and here I am slipping into a familiar dance, steps gazing in his glittering dark eyes. This is going to be a hot topic for some time to come, the Lord of the Deep Woods dancing with a mere human over all the eligible partners. You are not a mere human. He twirls me with such skill that, just for an instant, I feel like I'm dancing on air. I would not notice your presence if you were. My exasperated sigh seems to satisfy him in some obscure way. He guides me expertly, aware of everything around us without ever wavering his attention from our conversation. I heard somewhere that you've been ruling for well over a century. Somewhere? The circle of our dance widens, moving at a pace that takes my breath away. His touch is tight, secure, stroking my waist through the gossamer fabric, ever moving, ever guiding. Locks of his hair fall over one gleaming eye, a single note of disorder in his carefully managed style. What? You're a rare beauty of a woman. The pace of the music slows. All around him, like a static field, is the tingling presence of magic. I'm held so close that the field envelops me. So beautiful, shining brightest when you're in my arms. I blink, only to see the material of his shirt, the side of his neck, the shifting mass of dancing bodies all around us. I thought you were mad at me. I'm furious. Are these two things exclusive? He chuckles, a note of amusement that sounds strangely sad. You shared an intimate moment. What a shame. You could have been such a jewel in my crown. For a moment, the breath is squeezed out of me, edging right on the border of pain before he relents. Perhaps you yet shall. The song finishes with a flourish. Orion flings both hands in the air, bringing mine along with him, and the hall explodes into a rapturous applause. I stand stunned and smiling. Time blurred during that dance. I have no idea how much time passed, but we could have been twirling in one another's arms for forever. And that squeeze at the end, the face, the words, was a glimpse behind the mask or another layer of trickery? Orion answers none of these questions. He walks me hand in hand off the dance floor to a safe position away from the crush of the crowd. I can only spare one dance tonight. Enjoy the rest. Wait, that's it? That's all? That's it. He lowers his head, pressing a soft, chivalrous kiss to the back of my hand. That's all. And he's gone. I gently rub his lip print with my thumb. It's such a strange sensation, a gentle, warm, intriguing little tingle. Alright, next up. We got 3, right? Let's do Glim. Yes, I'll do all of them. Just for you guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Something about Glim seems off. For one, she's alone. For another, her outfit is far finer than anything I've seen yet. And, the most worrying of all, she's not smiling. Everything about her is drowned in sorrow. I cannot bear it. I cross the hall to the corner where she lingers. Are you okay? Oh dear, what did he do to you? Oh. Orion, did he punish you? Oh yes, I guess he did. He finds a napkin and wipes her eyes. I'm sorry, this is a special occasion. I shouldn't be ruining it with sadness. Don't be silly, you're not ruining anything. I squeeze her shoulder and nod at the many twirling couples. Come on, let's dance. She smiles, her agreement, her hand slipping easily into mine. Neither of us talks about positions. It just seems right that I lead and she follows. Do you know how to waltz? Maybe. Is it something like this? The fabric at her waist is silky, soft, her hand is very warm, and after a few false starts, we muddle our way to a few simple dance steps. Oh, I think I get it. Learn something new every day, eh? We smile at each other, letting ourselves relax into rhythmic motions. I would never have thought you'd been crying just a few minutes ago. Whatever Orion did seems like it devastated you. Oh, he just yelled at me. That's all? I told you, he's nicer than you think he is. I was even allowed to come to this ball. I had been wondering why an attendant was here in the same capacity as nobility. That decision doesn't make any sense at all to me. But I guess it's not important right now, not with her smile as radiant as the sun itself. I have a lot more questions about Orion and his ambassadors, about this court. The cold, logical part of me prompts that this would be perfect time to dig in while I have Glim alone. But it doesn't feel right, not with how close we feel in this moment, how purely joyful she is to simply be dancing with me. It may not be a good agent behavior, but for now, I just want to have fun, even if it means sacrificing a bit of the case. You're sad when you're sad, and happy when you're happy. Is there any other way to be? She's got me there. I laugh, relaxing into the gentle sway and turn of our simple motion. I wish I could live more like you. Why can't you? I don't know. There's a lot of subtleties to my work. A lot of shades of gray. But we're not at work right now. She squeezes my hand and grins. You're dancing with me. Can't you forget about all that for a bit? I can't. I never do. It's why I'm here in the first place. My dedication to my work was nearly swallowing me whole. But for her, I'll make the effort. You have a point. I turn us into a broad spin. Rippling gleefully laughs from the both of us. We turn and turn and turn, spinning until we nearly totter off our heels. See, now we're having fun. The moments blur together into a pleasant haze of motion. We dance without regard for anything else, much like how Glim must have frolicked amongst her brother and sister pixies in her flower bed. I only realize when we bump into an exiting couple that the song is done, and that half of the other couples have already vacated the floor. Oh wow, we really got into it there. That was fun. It was, wasn't it? Things with Glim are so simple, so fun. I'm all smiles as we step off the floor and find a spot to rest. Maybe I can't live as freely, as authentically as her. But maybe I can try. Let's see what Mr. Grumpy Pants has. Standing there surrounded by magical creatures, it's a relief to see Albert looking as so out of place as I feel. Our eyes meet and we smile. Not how I thought today would go. Neither did I. His hands reach for the usual belt loops and find nothing. Not how I thought anything would go. Everything since you've gotten here has been unexpected. In a good way or bad? Albert extends his hand. It'd be a waste if we didn't join in, right? I suppose it would, now that you say it. We step onto the dance floor hand in hand, trying our best to ignore the whispers of all around us. Hearing someone say, "The knight has finally made his choice," is just the sort of thing that makes it very hard for a woman to maintain her poise. Don't listen to the gossips. It's just us right now. His hand finds my waist, with confidence draws me smoothly into the dancer's grip. I don't know why I expected Albert to be a poor dancer. His movements are confident, smooth. I'm easily carried along in his arms. The music falls around us like a summer rain. Those serious eyes, always scanning for danger, hidden threats, focus wholly and completely on me. I realize with a sudden flush that he's certainly staring at my lips. "You're a good dancer." He leads me to an elegant sweep, my skirts fanning out with the motion. "Thank you." Other couples, laughing, twirling, are less than an arm's length away. Yet this dance makes me feel as if we're the only ones in the whole court. Is this where you tell me that I'm a good dancer too, Albert? You know you are. I'd prefer to tell you something that you don't know. Such as? The shifting mass of guests suddenly contracts. Albert is forced in closer, close enough that my soft chest presses against his hard one. Those soft green eyes hide something, an animal hunger that could eat me whole. His hand grips mine tightly, holding back the sudden urge. Such is how you look more beautiful than anything I've ever seen right now. Oh. The dancing crowd presses closer still. Albert is practically embracing me. A sweeping waltz transformed into a shuffling two-step. I don't know quite what to say to that. You don't need to say anything. It's the truth. You're beautiful. I can feel his heart beating. Can he feel mine? Are our thoughts running along the same lines? Flirt. I'm really not. Suddenly, a clutch of dancers breaks off to find drinks. We're released from the squeeze. It takes some time more before we dare to put some light between us. Get ready. He grips my hand and twirls me, taking advantage of the space to display our coordination. I whirl, laughing, all the way back into his arms, whereas he grips me tightly, holding my back flush against his chest. I haven't felt this close to anyone in such a long time. Ah. We shift back into a slow shuffle, his arms circling my waist. It's okay. You don't have to say anything. I'm released in another glorious twirl, the air rushing back into my lungs. I hadn't realized how tightly he had been holding me, still is holding me, our arms extended and fingers linked. Just getting to have the moment with you would be enough. Words aren't necessary. When two people understand each other, we slip back into our regular waltz grip and continue the initial dance. People are going to start talking. Good. The song trails off into a smattering of applause as Albert leads me off the floor. Perhaps it's the fresh night air or the intimate moment, but I'm invigorated. It's a struggle not to jump right into the next song while Albert fetches me a drink. Here you are, Lady Knight. Thank you, Sir Knight. Once the cool liquid touches my lips, I realize how much I need this. It's not ladylike the way I practically chug the whole glass, but Albert doesn't seem to mind. Thirsty work showing off in front of everyone. It's why I don't usually do it. I pat my lips, catch my breath. A good number of eyes in the crowd are still on us. It's funny that they all think I must be a knight too. They don't even know much about the pub. Very few know it exists at all. As it should be. Only the truly important people need to know. Everyone else is just showing off. Exactly right. There's little else to say. The time passes in silence, more full of a feeling of genuine companionship than I have felt in a very, very long time. Nettie. Standing with Nettie at the edge of the dance floor is surprisingly companionable. It wasn't so long ago that she was radiated hostility. Now, here we are, comfortable and quiet like two old friends. What are you thinking about so seriously? Well, see how similar this looks to the mundane? Her eyes are everywhere, drinking up every detail they can, though her expression remains as flat and calm as ever. People getting too drunk, dancing terribly, sharing food, talking loudly, running around. It's like I'm back in university. Some things never change. She's enjoying this, or enjoying watching it anyway. Let me guess, you were the type of girl who stood off to the side, made fun of everyone, right? You never danced, you were far too cool to have fun. Oh, not always. When there's somebody worth dancing with, I'll dance. She drags us onto the dance floor, a challenge in her eyes. The insistence in her grip leaves me tottering on my newly acquired heels. As if on cue, the violin begins soaring ballad. Nettie begins to move, tracing the rhythm with unstudied instinctive movements. Perfect timing. She dances without care for looking good or impressing anybody. Soon with a laugh, I join her. She's right, and if she's not worried, I won't be either. Should I be surprised? Seeing this new side of her, she takes everything so seriously, and all of a sudden that responsibility has been thrown off her back entirely. You're a good dancer. I'm okay. No, you're good. Annoyingly good. Her arms wrap around my waist, bringing us into an unmistakable contact. Our hips move instinctively, fueled by this intense atmosphere. You're talking about my dancing? I'm talking about everything. Has she already sampled the wine? Is some spell affecting her? Her cheeks look flushed, but her eyes, they're perfectly clear. You've turned everything on its head. Things are changing that haven't changed for a very long time. Is that a bad thing? Ethics aren't my area of research. We turn amongst the whirling couples, losing ourselves in the sound. I see her lips move, and amidst a crash of percussion, miss it entirely. What did you say? Nettie rolls her eyes, good-naturedly this time, and pulls me in, her breath tickling my ear. You're interesting. That's more important than anything else. I'm going to work you out. I'm going to ferret out every little detail, learn everything there is to know. We're dancing very close now. Our bodies are touching, grinding in a way that makes Nettie's interest utterly plain. I'm going to expose you, body and soul. Okay, ma'am. From anyone else, that sounds like a threat. Heck, from her, it sounds like a threat. Threat of a good time, maybe? Sorry, no, it's alright. Why do I find myself feeling so excited? What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? No. She brings her face close, a dangerous fixation in her eyes. Don't worry. Maybe she will soon. I swear she's gonna kiss me. Everything in the moment makes my hair stand on end in a terribly wonderful anticipation. A slight tilt of our heads is all it takes. Our lips brush ever so slightly, gentle enough that it might have just been the wind. And then she withdraws and the light floods back into the room. Listen to that. The song's over. I notice how the applause and cheers of those around us, the musicians at one end of the hall, take their bows. Nettie regards me not with her usual cool interest, but a self-satisfied smirk. I'm breathing hard, nearly gasping. She got to me, and she knows it. Do you need a drink? You look thirsty. Yes, please. She moves to grant that request with a flick of her hair. I press my hand on my chest and take a few sorely needed deep breaths. Shut up, Sammy. We don't need to know. Heart rate. Yeah. If you tell me about my elevated heart rate, Sammy, I'm going to find a way to wring your digital neck. Understood. I have to lean against the table and catch my breath. I'm able to do so now that Nettie isn't here to make fun of me for being affected by what just happened. That was certainly something. Miss Kim shows passion in all her endeavors. Sammy, shut up, damn it! No kidding. It's always an experience with her. Strangely, I find myself excited. wondering whether and how it might happen again. And finally, nobody, because we're done. Hopefully you enjoyed all the diamond choices. As wonderful as the festivities are, even I reach a point where I tire of the noise and the crowds. The whole of Orion's court is open tonight for people to wander through. Aside from Orion's private chambers, of course, I take the chance to slip away for some alone time in a darkened hall. Just standing idle has never sat well with me, though. I last about 3 minutes before I lifting my wrist. Sammy, are you still functioning? I am here. My functions are not altered. Just making sure. We've spent a long time in the supernatural realm. Are you worried that my ability to contact the pup headquarters may have deteriorated? A little. Nah, now that I'm alone again, the deadline jumps back to the front of my mind. Orion's judgment, whatever it might be, will come at dawn. I doubt there'll be a chance to sleep before dawn. Not that I'd be able to relax anyway. Should I send a distress signal to the London branch? Not yet. I just... Path of high expertise. I'm annoyed. By what? I don't know. By the thought that I can't handle this? You are aware that your life may be in peril? It may be. And don't start quoting regulations at me. I know what the guidelines say. Pup agents have a great deal of personal freedom in how they approach their cases. Even so, by rights, I should have called for extraction long before my head ends up on some chopping block. But I can't. Not yet. Not while there's a chance of resolving this myself. They wanted to stick me with this case because I worked too hard. Well, I'm going to show them just how hard of a worker I am. I would prefer if you did not die. No, so would I, Sammy. That's why I'm not going to. I catch myself and laugh. My little companion, you're always there for me, aren't you? It is my duty to assist you. It certainly is. I'm a little too old to be calling a program my friend, but a certain point of me appreciates the presence at my wrist. I set Sammy in rest mode and continue on my way. My wanderings bring me back to near the waiting room where we woke up. To my surprise, I hear familiar voices inside. It's Albert, and though I've heard him far less frequently, the other voice must be Rowan. Nobody else makes Albert sound that annoyed. Sounds like a private conversation, a heated one, too. Eavesdrop. Exactly the sort of thing I should be listening in on. I sidle as close to the door as I can. Is this really the time to be talking about this? Would you prefer to wait until the morning? It might not be a problem then. Come on, maid. Don't let your pride get in the way of doing what needs to be done. The door has been left slightly ajar as far as I can see as Rowan stepping closer and half of Albert's back. You're not the type to sit around. Don't you want to escape? It'll only make things worse if I try to escape. Only if you escape as you are now. Rowan grabs Albert's arm, speaking so quietly I have to crane forward to hear. You need to protect yourself. You need to protect her. Are you man enough to do what needs to be done? Or are you going to let another one slip through your fingers? Albert's hunched shoulders and tense posture tell me that everything that his obscured face cannot. You don't understand what you're asking me. I'm betraying everything my family has stood for since we began our duty. I'm giving you the opportunity to fulfill your duty. After an agonizing minute of silence, Rowan sighs and withdraws, pushing a hand through his shaggy mop of hair. You're going to regret this hesitation, Albert. If worse happens, I'll regret it too. As quickly as his sadness had appeared, Rowan swipes it away with a cocksure grin. Don't ponder too long. You'll run out of time sooner than you think. Albert doesn't answer Rowan as he turns to leave. I quickly hide behind a pillar as the ambassador walks out of the room. Rowan walks by without noticing my presence. Once I'm sure he's gone, I emerge and wait near the door for Albert to come out. When he does, his eyes are glassy, focused somewhere far beyond this quiet hall. Everything okay?
Oh, yeah. It's all fine. Not buying it, huh?
Sorry. The wariness spreads across his face like a sweeping wave.
Whatever might happen, I can't protect you from it. Not you, not Nettie. Orion's just too strong.
It might not be as bad as all that.
Or it might be even worse. Not being able to account for this possibility, it's horrible, and I'm letting you both down.
Well, you don't have to be perfect. We'll work something out. You don't have to be perfect.
Yes, I do. Anything less is unacceptable.
Why? You can't possibly be strong enough to protect everybody from absolute everything.
There might be one way.
Laughter bursts from a nearby room. We're not as alone as I thought.
Better get back before they think we've run away.
Yeah. I fall into step beside him. What a bizarre experience, swishing down these halls in beautiful gowns, worrying about such unusual things.
Thanks.
For what?
For checking on me. You really are reliable.
Anytime. Return to find the atmosphere changed. The dance floor is empty and the band is silent. Most of the guests crowd near the open windows, looking out at the balcony. What is...
Don't ask.
Fortunately for our shared confusion, Glim slips through the crowd. There you two are. Come on. Lord Orion is about to give his official toast. She ushers us forward. We follow, no less bemused for how the guests part to let us through. Have you heard of this before, Our?
It rings a bell. Never happened in my lifetime, though.
Yeah, the whole once in 50 years thing. Only one way to find out. We exit the hall and emerge into the fresh cool of the evening air. The moonlight falls upon the ivy-covered marvel with such striking brilliance that for a moment my breath is taken away. Orion stands alone on the balcony, a wine-filled goblet, cradle in one hand. Finally, you two show up. Not a good impression, disrespecting Lord Orion with this lateness. Rowan trails in behind us with an affable chuckle. They're just jealous Orion wouldn't wait on their behalf. Orion has clearly heard this whole exchange, but he makes no attempt to intervene. The goblet is lifted in a toast, and in trice the crowd goes quiet.
Endless thanks for your attendance, dear guest, and the span has passed peacefully tonight. Honor you all for your part in keeping that peace. A ruler cannot hope for more than an obedient and grateful domain over which to rule. We have our issues, as we do.
He pauses, letting the moment stretch out. His eyes linger on me the whole time.
But I am proud to say that we have safely come once again to this night of prominence. 3 spans now have I ruled. 3 spans you have given me your faith, knowing that my dream, my only dream, is that for the safety and happiness of all those whom I rule. 3 spans I have worn this symbol, this badge of office.
He slips a thumb over the cord of his medallion, lifts it, displaying the wooden carving to the crowd.
Orion's medallion, look. In this rests all my power, all of my authority. It is a thing which I do not wear lightly, and which I shall not surrender easily to anybody.
The medallion drops. Orion lifts his goblet high above his head in its place.
A toast to the leaders who have come before. A toast to the leaders who will come after. A toast to you all.
The crowd erupts in raucous cheers. Some time passes before they settle enough for Orion to speak again.
Before all present, I renew the promise I have made these 3 spans hence. While I rule, none shall threaten this place. I shall destroy anyone who tries.
He didn't even pretend he wasn't staring at me that time. An insult like that shouldn't go unanswered. Uh-oh. Make a taste yourself. Make a toast yourself. Or let it go. Make a toast. My first step brings me out of the circle of the audience. Another takes me directly into the open. Is there an issue? None. I just wanted to make a toast myself, if that's allowed. He smiles and steps back, surrendering the floor with a gesture and immediately rendering me the center of attention, unnerving to say the least. Someone passes me a glass. I smile, quickly thinking up some appropriate words. I'd like to thank Lord Orion for his patronage, as well as for all he's done for the people and creatures under his care. It is hard to rule, even harder to rule kindly. Many, in my experience, resort to cruelties hidden behind the scenes. Acceptable sacrifices, hidden plots, tyranny, in a word, frightening those they rule so much that they do not dare to dissent. Orion's glittering eyes harden ever so slightly as I make my speech. I may be addressing the room, but we both know this is between the two of us. Lord Orion is notable in the mundane realm by his very anonymity. Such a long period reigning over these woods without ever coming to my bureau's attention. A disturbed murmur runs through the assembled guests. Suffice it to say, our goals coincide. We wish for nothing more than peace and safety for all. It would be such a shame if anything were to shatter that peace. The sort of tragedy is so heartbreakingly preventable. I lift my glass high. The crowd follows suit. A toast to Lord Orion, a toast to peace. Confusion aside, everyone can get behind that sentiment. Their cheers ring out in the night while their lord remains deadly silent. He lifts both hands for a quiet and very quickly gets it. Return to your revelries, my guest. We have hours to go before dawn, and much merriment to have. There's plenty more food, wine, fun on offer. Nobody needs to be encouraged. Only the ambassadors linger, gathering around him. A wonderful toast, my lord. What a delight it was to see you in such a valiant form. Ah, yes, there's nothing Angus loves more than a peacock. Reminds him of himself. The fairy ambassador scowls at Rowan's interjection. Breathe your poison somewhere else, Rowan. My poison? It's nothing compared to your acid tongue. Self-satisfied wretch. Enough. We must return. The ambassadors trail after Orion, still bickering. He spares only the briefest of glances back at us before we're alone once more. What a shame they couldn't appreciate Lord Orion's speech. It's an honor to be able to witness it even more. Isn't it just? Albert's eyes flick to the sky. The moon hangs low and full, its passage ticking down the time to our eventual judgment. I'm gonna get some air. He walks off before we can make any further inquiries. I'd better go too. Lord Orion will need some assistance if they're all in their cups. The pixie flutters away. Nettie never showed up at all. It's just me in the cold, silent moonlight. As often as I feel alone in my work, indeed, in my whole life, I've spent very little time actually alone in Belchester. I've certainly never felt alone. Short acquaintances with clients are part of the job, yet I don't know. Something about these connections feels deeper, stronger. I lean against the marble railing and gaze at the moon. With time ticking down, my thoughts turn to my new companions. This may lock in a love interest now or opt for an open relationship. Other love interests may be chosen at a later time, whether you are locked in or not. How does this make sense? You may lock in a love interest now or opt for an open relationship. Okay, I'm assuming that if I pick one, the other option will pop up, and then that'll be an open relationship. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna go with Nettie. It's weird, also, can I just say this? It's weird that Orion's not on here. So, is that... I guess my question to you, the viewer, is especially those of you who maybe have played this already or whatnot, is it something I'm missing? Or is he just not an option yet? Did I do something wrong? I have questions. So if these are my only two choices, I'm gonna go with Nettie, see what happens, and then see if we can come back to Albert. It takes some time to find Nettie. She's nowhere in the throne room, nor on the balcony. Eventually, leaving the noise of the crowd behind, I find her alone in a hallway leaning against a wall. Everything okay? Aside from our imminent deaths, yeah. I don't think it's that bad. She flaps a hand back in the direction of the celebrations. I just need to get away from all that. I lean next to her, lacing my fingers together in front of me. It is a lot, isn't it? Even if you do like parties. It's not that. More, it makes me realize how little I know. Like, how many of those guests are centuries older than us? What have they seen? When they look at us, do they see adult women or oblivious infants? She lets out a mirthless laugh. You're different. You've got a lot of experience, but you never hold that kind of superiority over me. Well, yes, it's in my job. The last thing you want to do is for someone to think that you think you're better than them. Even when you are? It's a good question. Even then, but I'm not, so it's a moot point. What a smooth answer. Nettie tugs my hand from its closed grip to enfold to in her own. We've gotten pretty close, haven't we? I've never been able to talk to someone, be with someone like I can with you. Her thumb runs over the back of my hand. For once, she's succumbing to the shyness, unable to meet my eyes. What do you say? Should we see how close we can get? That's a clear statement, if I've ever heard one. I can't deny we're quickly grown close, but do I want to take the next step? Nettie. I'd like that. Let's keep it casual. I don't think so. Let's. Again, I don't know. I'm gonna take a chance here. I'm gonna go. Let's keep it casual. What? I'm not interesting enough to have all to yourself? It's not that. I don't want to rush into anything. I glance at my surroundings, relieved that she doesn't seem too hurt by the proposal. One might call this a high-stress situation. People do crazy things in high-stress situations. Some people do crazy things no matter what time it is. You are now in an open role. Okay, alright. We can do that. It'll be like university again. Everyone wants to keep their options open. Don't worry. I still like you. You'd better be. You'd better like me. Best, or we're going to have a problem. There's an injury in her tone, but her laugh dispels that slight awkwardness. I can already see the interested glitter back in her eye. And since I'm best, you'd better believe I'm going to be going to be first. A sharp tug pulls me closer. Nettie grabs my head and kisses me fiercely, stinging my lips with her little bites. I'm utterly overwhelmed. My head spins by the time she pulls back, nipping one last time to make her point completely clear. Remember, I'm not the type of girl who can be in second place. Understood. The hour winds on. I missed all-nighters, but it never gets easier to push through that early morning exhaustion. Yeah, especially as you get older. I'm flagging hard by the time the sun rises, spreading its warm rays over the tops of the trees. Albert, Nettie, and I have all gathered on the balcony to watch it happen, lost in our thoughts. I guess the diamond choice with Albert is not a thing, but I'm wondering if since we have an open relationship, if we can pursue him. As I open my mouth to break that silence, my watch buzzes. You have an incoming call from America. I check the number and grimace. Her again. I've got no time for anybody else's problems at the moment. I decline the call with a disgruntled sigh. We might be going to the gallows in You're still getting work calls? Told you. I was a workaholic. The flash of irritation centers me. We nod at each other, a single cohesive unit. No more waiting time to face the music. Orion is back on his throne. Most of the party has dissipated, seeking out cool grass or soft beds to collapse in, alone or in pairs. All the decorations have been cleared away as if by magic, and the servants are nowhere to be seen. It's a small audience indeed as we approach our judgment. I'm surprised you never attempted to escape. Was there any way it would have been successful? No. He passes a lordly gaze over us all, thinking a moment before beginning his speech. Path of high expertise. I must show respect to you both. Albert, you serve your cause with dedication that I know would make your family proud. Thanks. And Isla, your commitment is nothing to sneeze at either. In just a few short days, you have threatened my court in a way I could thought not possible. I'm not here to threaten your court, Orion. I'm here to make peace. And yet, you have tempted my attendant to betrayal, trespassed upon my private lands, tried to steal my property. You people ain't stealing. After you trapped her here with your guess? Are you trying to say I didn't? I did, but I am not the one on trial. That's not fair. Nothing is. I only make these points to show respect. To have judgment personally meted by my own hands is an honor indeed. This transgression must be punished. Since you have proved so adept at managing the difficulties of my domain, I shall grant you mercy. You're letting us go? Oh, you shouldn't have said that. No. I'm giving you a chance. Orion extends his arm, fingers spread wide. The air at the foot of the stairs begins to distort and shimmer like a heat haze filled with glittering light. Your punishment shall be delivered by one of my finest warriors. If you manage to evade him, then I shall consider your punishment complete. However, be warned. He is known to be persistent. The light intensifies to such a degree that I have to shield my eyes. Within that roiling chaos, a figure emerges, preceded by a long, echoing nigh. As the light dims, I lower my hand, looking up into nothing at all. I'm sorry, is that the headless damn horseman? No! You control the headless horseman. Okay, I'm in awe. Oh my god. It's the Doulahan. Hey, I call him the headless horseman. Indeed, it is, learned one. The few remaining onlookers shriek and scatter in fear. Where a head should be blazes a gout of unearthly flame. The massive horse this figure rides snorts and stamps the ground with deadly hooves. That's badass. I'm in awe. The head cradled under one arm looks at me with pure, dispassionate malice. There's no mercy in those eyes, not even a chance of it. This is your punishment for us? Indeed it is. A flick of his fingers makes the Doulahan horse buck with a heart-rending whine. His sword leaves its sheath with equally terrible ring. Now, my dear guests, I suggest that you run. Okay, I give you a 5 on that one. I'm not even kidding. Thank you for rating us. We have 1 to empathy, 0 to efficiency, 4 to expertise, and diamonds. Alright, so pretty much we got our diamonds. So, episode 6. A new foe appears, death rides with him. So if you did enjoy the content that I do, please, again, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment letting me know your thoughts, but otherwise, yeah, no, it'd be appreciated if you just, try and share and support the content. Right now I'm literally sick. I've been fighting this off for 8 days now and just trying to do this. I know there's a diamond rush and everything, which today's the last day. The update's Friday. I've got tons of work to do with choices on Wednesday, and then, my stream and everything else. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Right now I'm super, super overwhelmed. So hopefully you're hearing this at the end of the video and at least understand. And again, the least I ask is just to support the content. Like, get it out there, let people know this channel exists. Nearly 5,000 videos to date. That's not even counting the streams. I'm serious. Like, we'd be going on 6,000 at that point. Probably even more. I'm just flabbergasted. It's like, seriously, we put out more content than a lot of other people. And I'm just saying, it'd just be great to see this community thrive. That's about the best way to put it, right? So, you guys are what gives me energy to keep going and do what I gotta do, right? So, anyway, thanks again for watching. Catch y'all later. Peace out.